Have you ever wondered why some men can talk to a woman for 5 minutes and leave her thinking about them for days? It's not about money, looks, or charm. It's about how they make her feel. And often, that starts with the questions they ask. Because when you ask the right questions, not boring ones, not predictable ones, you touch her mind and emotions at the same time. And that is what truly impresses a woman. So in this video, we'll uncover 6 powerful questions you can ask a woman. Questions rooted in Stoic psychology, emotional intelligence, and timeless wisdom. By the end, you'll not only know how to ask them, you'll understand why they work and how they quietly separate you from every other man. Pause. Let's begin. Intro, setting the tone. In Stoicism, one of the greatest lessons is to speak less but say more. Seneca once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." And this simple truth applies directly to human attraction. When you meet a woman, you don't impress her by trying to dominate the conversation or by showing off. You impress her by showing depth, by being curious, by asking the kind of questions that reveal your intelligence, your calmness, and your ability to connect. That's what we're going to explore today. 6 questions that subtly show you're different. 6 questions that reflect the Stoic man, grounded, aware, and quietly confident. Question 1. What's something that genuinely makes you lose track of time? Short pause. This question might sound simple, but it's deeply psychological. When you ask a woman what makes her lose track of time, you're asking her what she loves doing, not what she's supposed to say, not what society expects of her, but what truly lights her up inside. Most men never go there. They ask, "So, what do you do for work?" or "Where are you from?" Boring. Forgettable. But when you ask this, she stops. She thinks. She feels seen, not just for what she does, but for what she feels. And here's what's even more powerful. When she tells you what that thing is, listen closely, because that's where her passion lives. That's where she becomes authentic. And when a woman talks about what she loves, she subconsciously associates that positive emotion with you. That Stoic presence. Being fully here, listening without trying to impress. Soft transition. Let's move to the second question. A question that touches her emotional intelligence and reflection. Question 2. What's something you've learned about yourself in the past year? Now, this is where depth begins. When you ask this, you're not just asking about her experiences, you're inviting her to share her growth. And that's something very few people think to do. Every person, men and women, want to be understood, not for who they were, but for who they're becoming. This question shows emotional maturity. It tells her you're the kind of man who values growth, reflection, and evolution. You're not just chasing beauty. You're curious about her mind. And when she answers, don't rush in to respond. Pause. Look her in the eyes. Then say something like, "That's actually a really powerful realization." Or, "It's interesting. I've been learning something similar." This type of reply deepens the connection without forcing it. It's calm, respectful, confident. Exactly what a Stoic man embodies. Pause. Now, let's take it deeper, into her imagination and self-awareness. Question 3. If you could live one day with no responsibilities, how would you spend it? This one's beautiful. It invites her to escape her routine, to imagine freedom, peace, and joy. You're not asking about her job or her to-do list. You're giving her a moment to breathe, to visualize the life she truly wants. And when she answers, listen for clues. You'll discover what kind of woman she is without directly asking. Some will say they'd travel, explore, or read by the ocean. Others might say they'd sleep in, paint, or be with loved ones. Each answer reveals what brings her serenity and what she values most. This question quietly signals that you're not just interested in her body or looks. You care about her peace of mind. That alone puts you in a completely different category than most men. Short reflective pause. And that brings us to a question that tests emotional connection on a deeper level. Question 4. What kind of moments make you feel most alive? This question hits at the core of vitality. It touches emotion, memory, and passion all at once. Most people live on autopilot, repeating days, scrolling, surviving. When you ask a woman this, you're challenging her to wake up, to reconnect with life. And that's rare. Women are naturally emotional beings. They appreciate someone who can pull emotion out of them in a grounded way. She might talk about travel, adventure, love, music, laughter. Whatever it is, that's her spark. And if you can make her talk about her spark, she'll remember you as the person who ignited it. The Stoic approach isn't about intensity or flirtation. It's about presence and depth. You don't need to talk fast or say much. Your calm tone, your interest, and your silence between words. That's what impresses her. Pause. But now, let's shift to something more vulnerable. The question that reveals emotional maturity. Question 5. What's something you've struggled with that taught you an important lesson? This is not a question for small talk. It's for quiet moments, maybe over coffee, a walk, or after real connection has started. Here, you're inviting vulnerability. And vulnerability creates trust. When she answers, don't interrupt, just listen, really listen. You'll hear her story, her pain, her resilience. And the Stoic lesson here is simple. Don't try to fix her. Don't judge. Don't rescue. Just witness. Because true strength doesn't come from solving. It comes from understanding. If she opens up, that's a sign she sees you as emotionally safe. And that's one of the most attractive traits a man can have. Not dominance, not loudness, but quiet emotional strength. Gentle transition. And that leads us to the final question, one that leaves a lasting impression. Question 6. What do you value most in people? This question may seem subtle, but it's incredibly revealing. It tells you her worldview, what kind of energy she respects, and what kind of person she tries to be. Does she say honesty, kindness, loyalty, or does she value ambition, confidence, and independence? Each answer gives you a mirror of her inner self. And when you respond, share your own value. Calmly, authentically. I respect that. For me, I think integrity is the one thing that never fades. That's how you build respect without showing off. That's how you communicate. I'm not here to play games, I'm here to connect. Transition. Reflection. Now, think about it. Each of these 6 questions has one thing in common. They're not about impressing her, they're about understanding her. And that's what most men never realize. A Stoic man doesn't chase validation. He observes, he listens, and he connects. Because the one who seeks to understand others inevitably becomes the one who stands out. These questions aren't tricks or manipulation. They're reflections of your own depth. Your curiosity, your mindfulness, and your calm. When you ask them with presence, she feels it. When you listen without judgment, she respects it. And when you stay grounded, even when she flirts or tests your composure, she trusts it. That's the difference between the man who talks to women and the man who moves them. Conclusion. Stoic closing reflection. In the end, remember, attraction isn't built on noise. It's built on awareness. every great connection begins with curiosity, not control. The questions you ask are simply a reflection of how you think. So train your mind, steady your emotions, and let your presence speak louder than your words. The Stoics taught that mastery of others begins with mastery of self, and when you live by that principle, you naturally attract the right people. Women who value your calm, your purpose, your strength. Soft closing pause. So, ask these 6 questions, but more importantly, be the kind of man who asks them. Call to action. Calm, direct, grounded. If you found value in this video, take a moment to like it, subscribe for more Stoic psychology and attraction insights, and share it with someone who wants to grow in silence, not noise. Because the more grounded we become as men, the more peace we bring to the people around us. I'll see you in the next video. Stay calm, stay disciplined, and never stop learning.